Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my August wrap up.
Drowning in your love, let's sail away. You got me caught up in a dream vacation. Your heart's an overdrive, my destination. And every time I'm with you, it's like a holiday. We could take back the night with a little more time. Take back the night with the rhythm alright. Take back the night with a little more time. Take back the night with a little more time. And just know whatever you do, I'll be right here waiting for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll be right here waiting for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll be right here waiting for you.
Same mistakes that I made when I was 16. Never thought of making money's feeling more like a pipe dream. I take 2 steps forward and 1,000 back. I shouldn't take this long to get my life on track. Yeah, I swear this basement's gonna be the death of me. So I cry out with a hollow voice, and I fade into the background noise. Cold enough, is this what it feels like? To grow up not knowing how to do anything right. Had big dreams when I was 17, but I've tried and tried and tried, and I just don't think I will ever figure out how to live.
So for the month of August, I had the goal to read 6 books, and I actually managed to read 5 books, which is actually really good for me. I was really happy with the reading I've done in August. So as I do every month for the past 2 years, I participate in the Buzzwordathon hosted by Books and Lala. And for the month of August, the buzzword was to read a book with a bookish related title. And for that prompt, I wanted to read The Bookish Life of Nina Hill, which I didn't get to. So no buzzword book this month. I'm going to try to read it in next month's TBR. So in August, I read 2 audiobooks. The first one was Radium Girls by Kate Moore, and this one was a tough one to read. I enjoyed it, and I did hear about the Radium Girls from Bailey Sarian in one of her murder mystery, I think, videos, which really intrigued me. And when I saw that this book was available to loan from Libby, I decided to pick it up. It was a long audiobook, and there was a lot of research done, and a lot of interviews, and the author really did very thorough research, which is amazing. And I really love that. I did feel like it was a bit redundant because she was telling the stories of so many girls and what they all been through with the radium and all that stuff, and medically and their conditions and all of that. And after time, it does become redundant, but at the same time, it shouldn't be an issue, because that's the point of the book, is that it happened to so many people, to so many girls, and they didn't do a thing about it. It's so frustrating. And I am going to give some trigger warnings for very raw descriptions of what the girls' medical conditions were and what they had physically because of the radium. So if you're very sensitive to, I don't want to say body horror, but that's pretty much what it is, medical conditions, I wouldn't go into that, or be careful going into it, because the descriptions are there, and it was hard for me to read. It's tough, and it's very frustrating. And for all that this book did and what it accomplished, I gave this book 4.5 out of 5. The second audiobook I read this month is The Black Flamingo by Dean Ada. This is an autobiography, and it talks about his own experience in school and his queerness and all of that stuff, which I really enjoyed reading. It's very short. It was fun, and it wasn't full of trauma. So I think it was a very positive book to read. Not tough, not frustrating. Well, maybe a little bit, but it was still a very insightful read, if that makes sense. Since it's an autobiography, I didn't rate this book. I don't feel comfortable doing that, reading someone's life, but I strongly recommend this read. I also have 2 books that I have been reading for such a long time and finally finished in August. The first one is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, which I don't think I need to explain the synopsis. It's pretty much what the movie is, but there's a lot more happening in the book than the movie, because I did watch the movie afterwards, and I did really enjoy the read. It was creepy. I googled the dinosaur types because I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to dinosaur types, and it was creepy and scary and fun. I enjoyed all the science stuff, though I did feel like reading it that it was not very plausible, if that makes sense. But it was written in the 90s, so I get that it's a bit old if we're looking at the science stuff, because science does evolve pretty quickly. But within the book, it all made sense, and it's science fiction, so I don't mind that it's not very realistic for the science stuff. I'm not a science girl either, so maybe I'm wrong with that, but I really enjoyed it. It was very coherent altogether in the book. So, and you know me, I hate when books are not coherent within itself. It's not the case with this one. I really enjoyed it. It was a tiny bit long and not much happens except them trying to escape the dinosaurs. So if you're looking for a plot, there isn't really, not much more than the movie. And the movie actually cuts down a lot of these scenes. There's a lot less running around, a lot less scenes in the movie than in the book. So you get a lot more of that in the books. So if you're a big fan of the movies, I strongly recommend this book. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5. The other book I finally finished was The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is the first book of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Finally finished it. It took me a year. I was going through my old vlogs that I was trying to edit to finally publish. And in September last year, I was starting this book. So it took me a year to get through it. It's not for everyone though, because the writing is very descriptive. It's not as action-packed as the movies. Like, it's close to the movies, but in between there's a lot of description and reflection and explanation of this and that, and there's a lot of downtime. They stay in one place way longer than we see in the movies, and stuff like that, and they do kind of take their time to move on to the next phase of their adventure journey. But yeah, I still really enjoyed it. By the end of book 1, it does pick up a bit action-wise. And this is the type of book that, although I really enjoyed it, I do need to take my time with it. So book number 2, I'm going to be starting it soon-ish, but definitely going to be taking my time as well. I feel like I get a bit saturated when I read too much of it at the same time. So that's my advice. If you want to pick it up and you're not into very descriptive chapters, I would try to read it along with another book. I still give this book 5 stars out of 5. And finally, the last book I read was book number 16 for my secret TBR. I finally got to finish it because actually, yeah, that's another one that I've been trying to read the month before in July, but I didn't have time to finish it because my loan was due, and I borrowed it on a Libby, and it was due and I didn't have time to finish it, so I had to wait to get it back to finish the read. Anyways, I got it back and I finished it. I had like 100 pages left, so it was quick. I'm not going to talk too much about it on here because I have a full Secret TBR vlog that is coming up soon. I only have 3 books left to put on that TBR, and then I'll be editing all of that vlog and publishing that. But I did enjoy it for what it was. I felt like it was very underwhelming. It is from an already popular author, and I enjoyed most of the rep I was looking for in that book, if that makes sense. But the rest of the book was very underwhelming. It's supposed to be a mystery with some memory loss and stuff like that. This character, the main character, actually loses 10 years of her life. The last thing she remembers, she was pregnant with her first child. 10 years later, she has 3 already. So, and there's all this mystery going on, like with what happened to people in her life. during those 10 years. And it felt so underwhelming because it was just not, because it was not that big of a deal. In the first chapters, like the writer really makes it like it's a huge deal. Like you're not gonna expect like what happened. When you finally find out, it's just so underwhelming. I didn't enjoy the ending either. Kind of predictable and annoying, and I didn't enjoy that. So I don't think it's that bad a book. It's just not my cup of tea, I guess. But since I really enjoyed the rep, I have to give points to that book because of that. So I finally gave this book 3 stars out of 5. So that's pretty much for my August wrap up. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought about them. Are you thinking of picking any of them up? As usual, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload any video, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.